Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Well, I didn't think I was going to have to carry 440. Now, it wasn't individually. So we had the Salvation Army here this morning, just within the last, right now it's 8:32. Within the last 45 minutes, Lieutenant Greg Bach has been making some trips across the street from Calvary Church back here to Hy-Vee because they're supplying food in addition to today's the day the Salvation Army's going to be distributing all their toys, and they've partnered with Calvary for a number of years because they've got the space and the volunteer power to help them out. Anyways, 440 dozen eggs was a pretty good workout. So in addition to that, they had a whole bunch of other food and chicken and so it was a good little workout this morning. So we're here, we're starting on time. Again, if you're watching on cable, you never know when we're late or anything because it's always on at 7:30 or 10:30. So, but in the morning at least, a little bit of a workout. And I wonder, we probably can't see it from that camera, but as I'm sitting here, I can look out the window. I can see across the street to where they've got the Salvation Army van, and they're probably starting to get ready for that distribution. So today is the day. Nearly 1,500 people, families in Muscatine receiving Christmas assistance via the Salvation Army, and it's all going on. So that's just great. And we had a successful week last week with freezing for food, putting non-perishable food donations in the truck, thanks to Tantera Transportation Corporation for their support and everybody that stopped out to make a donation. We appreciate that very much. So let's see. There you go. Perfect. Look at that. We can see it. I feel like we're spying on them. Hopefully we don't see Lieutenant Bach slip, since, as you can see, it did snow last night. So I did shovel my driveway this morning, and I salted it because I figured, you can never tell, is it going to be one of those snows where if you don't shovel, will it have melted by the time afternoon rolls around? But I don't want to be the neighbor that doesn't, and then my other neighbors are out there, they might even have heated sidewalks. I don't know. Or by the way, heated driveway, probably the best idea ever, isn't it? Parking lot looks good here at Hy-Vee. We're just 9 days out from Christmas, which is crazy to think about. And it's going to be a good week here, that is for sure. I want to mention one thing, and then we'll get to our first guest that's patiently waiting. Today, in addition to it being 9 days away from Christmas, it's Make My Monday, and there's an awesome deal with respects to anything you buy in the meat, seafood, or deli departments. A little bit of fuel saver action going on for you. So that's an awesome opportunity to get into this store and save some money while you're here at the gas pump. So maybe you came in this weekend when we had a big fuel saver going on. Maybe you saved a lot. I don't want to brag. My wife had to get a whole bunch of gift cards and stuff, so I have $1.17 off per gallon on my fuel saver. That's the most I've ever had. Today, 15 cents on every 20 bucks spent. Today only meat, seafood, and deli. So if you need to get like a prime rib for Christmas or ham or whatever the case may be, come in today and check that out. That is an awesome deal going on today only. All right, so without further ado, let's get to our first guest. So this is funny. So last week, Shirley Dillon was here ringing the bell for the Salvation Army, volunteering her time, and we started chatting, and now she's on the show, and I'm really excited that you're here. Thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
So you probably didn't think that after just a short conversation that you would find yourself here, Shirley, but I appreciate you being here, representing First Presbyterian Church here in Muscatine and the
Emmaus Cafe.
Emmaus Cafe. I was thinking about that all morning. I'm going to say it wrong. Emmaus Cafe. Yes. So for people that are watching at home that have no idea what Emmaus Cafe is, can you explain that to them? And this is a big year for the Emmaus Cafe with First Presbyterian. It's an anniversary celebration, right?
It certainly is.
Sure.
This year, or 2020, is our 20th year.
Wow.
And we have been doing this for 20 years now. We serve a hot meal every Sunday at First Presbyterian Church, and it's available for anyone who needs a hot meal on Sunday. Sure. We found 20 years ago, when we first decided to do this at the First Presbyterian Church, that there was a place somewhere in town every day of the week that they could get a hot meal, anyone who needs it. But there was no place for Sunday. So that's when we decided to do it on Sunday noon. And we've been doing it for 20 years now. And it's all done with volunteers and with people who volunteer from our church and from the community.
Now, is it at a certain time?
Yes.
Or does that vary? Because I don't know, but
no,
I love that you...
it's the same time.
It's the same time, okay.
And I believe they start serving at noon and then serve till 1.
That's fantastic.
And we have, as I said, lots of volunteers and community support. We have different churches in town who send over a group of people to help serve our meals. We also have other groups that are not connected with the church that volunteer to help us, and that's a big help. We have crew chiefs who plan and serve our meal each Sunday and cook it.
Awesome.
And those are all people who volunteer from our church, but then all of their help who help serve and prepare and serve can be anyone in the community.
Well, and that's important because, again, hunger knows no denomination.
That's exactly right.
Hunger doesn't discriminate for people that are out there that are looking for a place. And what a fascinating story that 20 years ago that was identified, that there's places that people can go except on Sunday. And it could have been very easy for First Presbyterian to say, hey, you know what, Sunday, I don't know if it really works out. That's when people are coming to church.
That's right.
But to do that is incredible. And then to have continued to do it for 20 years, Shirley.
It's taken some real support for people.
Absolutely.
And we're happy to have some of those in our church and in the community.
Yeah.
So we serve anywhere from probably 50 to 70 people every Sunday.
Holy moly.
And some are elderly and some are families with children. We were hoping 20 years ago that we'd be out of business by now, but unfortunately we're not. The need is still there. And
you're right, though, and I don't want to interrupt, but yes, as you were saying that, it's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, who would have thought 20 years ago that Emmaus Cafe would still need to be a thing, right? We would have hoped to have gotten this hunger issue figured out, but again, 20 years being there for people, I mean, I'm sure that there's folks that are relying on, I mean, right? I mean, if you're talking about those kind of numbers, I mean, that's the reality, right?
Well, and for different reasons. Now, we have some elderly people who come, and it's a social thing for them. They can meet some of their other friends, people who live alone, and it's important for them to have someone to sit down with and have a meal with. So we're glad to have that. And then, as I said, we have families and children, and we're happy to feed the children, but we're sad that they need to come. So, you know, whatever. But we've had such good support from different churches and Sunday school classes who have not only donated their time to help us, but they donate money. We've gotten checks from Sunday school classes and different churches that maybe every so often they take a collection and they send that to Emmaus Cafe. Unfortunately, we haven't had as many donations as we did in years past. But I think maybe after 20 years, sometimes people kind of forget that, you know, we're still in business.
Well,
but we do.
And that's why you're here, right?
That's right.
Because if you're watching and you're thinking, I had no idea that there are people that are, you know, food insecure. Food insecurity has kind of been a one way to describe this. But for folks that are looking for a meal, if anything, talking about the fact that Emmaus Cafe is still going on, still going strong at First Presbyterian Church, you might even have more folks, because who's been going hungry on Sundays, surely, that now knows that, you know, there's an option for them.
That's why I'm here. We really do want people to know that that's available for them. And also it's a possibility for donations for not only food, but for money. Because it takes money. We go out and buy all the food. However, we do have some donations that help, but
that's great.
And
it seems like you've got like a breakdown from this past year as far as
people
folks that
who
have
donated.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And
we send out. My job is to send a thank you to each person or organization that donates something to our Emmaus.
That's great.
So I do keep track. And we have had, for instance, there's one gentleman in town that every so often he'll send us a 20-pound package of hamburger. Sometimes it's
awesome.
40 pounds.
Wow.
And, hamburger we can use in any dish. And, of course, our Lori Aguero, who is here with
works at Starbucks, retired guidance counselor, softball coach. And she's great.
She is, and she's very active with Emmaus, and she does all of our meal planning and purchasing the food for the meals. And she's very good. Very good at figuring out how much she needs to buy for.
Sure.
And, of course, we never know if we're going to have 40 people or 80 people. And think about that for your Sunday dinner.
Well, I was going to say, and it probably can be connected to weather, right? I mean, we're sitting here December 16th. It's only, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, it's only going to get colder.
Yes.
So I'm imagining that probably you see an increase in folks? Or?
Sometimes, but also sometimes the last Sunday of the month makes a difference because people's food stamps and so forth have maybe run out by then.
Sure.
So it does make a difference on which Sunday, but you can't always tell.
Right.
So
and then as far as like people that are watching that want to get involved, whether it's donating food, donating money, do you need volunteers to serve?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have churches who send people. It takes about 4 to 6 people probably to help our crew chief to prepare the food and then to serve it and clean up afterwards, which takes a bit.
Yeah.
And we're always happy to have people who want to help. And it's a nice feeling to be able to serve people and greet them and have a conversation with them and make them feel welcome. Which we do.
And again, you were ringing the bell for the Salvation Army. So you understand, great picture right there. Oh, our friend Erica Cox in that picture. So you understand, surely, the importance of organizations like the Salvation Army.
Oh, yes.
But then you're able to sit here and talk about 20 years strong of Emmaus Cafe at First Presbyterian. So there's a lot of people that are making strong efforts
absolutely
in this community to make a difference. And it's important to recognize that work. And then at the same time, as I said, get the word out there. So if you're watching and you know somebody that could, and I love the aspect of if it's, the crowd on Sundays can be people that are just looking for that social aspect and that engagement. And then, yes, the people that would not have had a meal. That's a nice variety of folks that you're able to serve.
It is.
And that's ultimately what it's all about, is serving those in need. What else are we doing if we're not helping lift each other up, right?
Well, the name Emmaus Cafe comes from the Bible, Walk to Emmaus.
Okay.
And so that was chosen 20 years ago, and it's still there.
20 years, Shirley. This is amazing, right?
It's absolutely gone by in a flash.
So it's so great, and you've had an awesome group of people helping out, but still looking for more. So it's every single Sunday.
Every single Sunday.
So just had it yesterday.
Yes. And on holidays, we prepare a special meal for them.
Okay.
Christmas and Easter, we've had ham and turkey. We always have turkey for Thanksgiving and usually for Christmas.
Yeah.
And, they have maybe noodles and potatoes and, really nice meals. And then the rest of the time we have a hot meal. They're not always quite as elaborate as the holiday meals, but neither are ours at home either. So anyway, it's special for them.
Yeah, it's great to be able to have this as another opportunity to take care of people in town, and for them to know that, they shouldn't feel guilt or shame.
Absolutely
just come as you are. But it's just fascinating to me. I keep coming back to that 20-year, that length of time, and that still that there's,
Well, I should mention, through those 20 years, we have been connected also at times with the Farmers and Hunters for the Hungry, which is an organization of hunters and farmers who have hunted deer, and they pay for having the deer meat processed, and then they have donated it to organizations like ours.
That's awesome.
So we have used venison quite a bit through the years, along with our meat and beef and pork and so forth, to help supply meals and meat for the meals. So we really appreciate them. Now, in recent years, it's slowed down quite a bit for that, for one reason or another. But remember back when we had our big flood, and the state of Wyoming sent us, I don't remember now exactly how many, but it was like a semi-load, I think, not just to Emmaus Cafe, but to Muscatine for use, and it was wild meat, elk, and so forth, which, you know, you mix it with beef and it tastes just fine.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but
that's
that
awesome.
was, you know, to come from Wyoming to Muscatine to help us, that was pretty great.
It's a big deal, and
it is.
And there's no signs of Emmaus Cafe slowing down, feeding the need, meeting the need. How many thank you cards have you sent out in 20 years, Shirley?
Well, quite a few. I've been
Yeah.
doing this for at least 10, and
Wow.
some go to organizations, some go to individuals. You know,
Sure.
we get checks from individuals, or sometimes they'll bring in canned goods, things like that. And we appreciate anything that we get. Now, also, I might mention Salvation Army has been very good about, if we have something extra that we don't have room for, we share with them, and they've done the same with us.
Isn't that nice?
If they yes.
Yeah.
So we work together.
Yeah.
And between us, hopefully, we're helping people in the community.
Well, and that's, you know, this time of year, it's so perfect that you're here just, you know, ahead of Christmas and the spirit of people coming together. It's amazing to me the amount of churches that we have in the town the size of Muscatine, and that the majority of everybody plays well together, because again, it's all about, you know, serving the need and being there for people wherever they find themselves with their faith. But then also, when you can feed people every Sunday for 20 years, that's a testament to a great effort, and I hope it continues. I mean, again, I said this last week with the food drive that we had here for the Salvation Army. To your point, I wish we didn't have to keep filling a truck worth of food.
Yeah.
I wish that we were able to sustain a program, and I always jokingly say, if anybody's watching this show that's super wealthy that wants to write a big check, Emmaus Cafe can stop too. It could be the last one, could have been yesterday. If somebody wants to write a bit, right? I mean, surely get a Sunday off, maybe. But in the meanwhile, the need's there. If anything, the need has grown. You know, with respects to the Salvation Army, right now across the street, they're gonna have 1,500, 1,600 people.
Wow.
They're relying on them for Christmas assistance. So just in the same vein that First Presbyterian and Emmaus Cafe is seeing people every Sunday, the need's not slowing down. So
No,
what do we
not at
do?
all.
We talk about it, you raise awareness, and then if you're out there and you're watching and you want to get connected with donating food or monetary donations, I hope that you will.
Well, you know, my mother-in-law had a great faith.
Sure.
And she said one time, you know, sometimes people ask, well, do all the people who receive help really need it? And so some people have kind of a attitude about that.
Yeah.
And she always said, well, you don't worry about that. You feed everybody to make sure that you get the ones that really need it.
Yeah.
And if they don't need it, well, that's okay. But at least you make sure that those that do need it have it.
Absolutely. And I think as long as the intent is there to do good and
Yes.
not question it,
That's what
that's how
counts.
I am.
Yes.
I would never, ever, because I guess I'm a decent person, I would never ask someone, are you sure you really need that
no.
meal on Sunday at Emmaus Cafe? Or are you sure you really need Christmas assistance? Because it's none of my business, quite frankly.
That's
But
right.
there does seem to be these weird stigmas surrounding helping people, and as if they need to, you know, verify that they need it. I would hate to ever think that, should I personally ever need the Salvation
That's right.
Army or come to a First Presbyterian, I would hope that I wouldn't have to prove it, I guess, right? I mean,
and you know, none of us know what's going to happen in the future, and
Right.
we can all be in that spot someday. You
Sure.
never know. Or
Well, you're either
maybe
gonna
we
go-
have been in the past.
yeah, I mean, listen, depending on what you believe, you're either going to go somewhere nice or somewhere a little warm. So you might as well do the
You
right.
mean like Florida?
That's right. Well, surely I go. Yeah, Florida's interesting. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit further south.
Oh, I
but,
see. Okay.
Yeah, I would just assume do right by people, be a decent person, and when you have an opportunity to give, just do it and
It's
know
right.
that, you know.
Don't pass it by.
Well, don't pass it by. Any little things that irk me, you know, people don't hold the door open for each other anymore.
Oh,
We don't,
yes.
I just feel like we we've lost a lot of communication skills, and a lot of it is with the advent of these things, and I get it, but just kindness, right? I feel like Muscatine County is very kind and giving, and that can be almost rare, right? When you talk about a church with Emmaus Cafe for 20 years, it's a great example of kindness in action, and people there helping every single Sunday. So I hope it continues.
We have plans for it too. That's certainly
I was going to say. So what do you know? What's on the menu this coming Sunday?
Well, I don't know that, but I do want to tell you that because this is our 20th year coming up in 2020. We are planning a special celebration of that in April, on April 26th.
Okay.
And we're going to have a special invitation to all of our donors and our helpers and volunteers that have helped through the years. And we want them all to come, and we're planning a special program of entertainment, but we're not telling you what it is yet. So that'll be a surprise.
Shirley told me it's Garth Brooks and prime rib, so I'll tell you right now.
I would love that. I saw Garth Brooks once in person, absolutely, and he would be great, but I'm not sure we can afford him.
Maybe the prime rib then. Is that gonna be
well, we'll see if Hy-Vee wants to donate that.
Okay. Flip it back on me, Shirley. That's fine. April 26, 2020. We talk about 2020 like it's an eternity away. We're almost here,
there.
right? We're almost here. What an awesome thing. Well, I tell you what, whether it's yourself or somebody else, let's have somebody come back on the show.
Absolutely, we will.
To get ready for that in April.
We'll tell you more about it. Yeah.
Well, for me, the whole point is there's so many places and people doing good in this town, and I have no agenda. I've talked to people from every different denomination of church and faith. If they're doing good work, they should have an outlet to talk about it and get the word out there, because, again, I don't want to think about people on Sunday thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know if I'm going to eat today. That drives me wild, thinking that, especially when you talk about kids like you mentioned. Because it's not their choice, and they find themselves in the circumstances that they're in. So they need to know that Emmaus Cafe is there at First Presbyterian Church here in Muscatine. What address for the church? And we've been showing the Facebook page and stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the address?
We're on the corner of Iowa Avenue and 4th Street.
Yeah, right there. I drive by it all the time. I just, it's
and
one
come
of those...
in the 4th Street entrance.
Okay,
and
perfect.
Our gathering room or our all-purpose room is set up for our meals, and they'll be prepared and served. And I might mention that some of our volunteers from church have been doing it for almost the whole 20 years.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
So 20 years of
volunteering.
helping out.
That's right. And so that's loyal volunteers.
Yeah. And I would just say, I would challenge everybody that's watching, whether it is contributing to something towards the Emmaus Cafe or doing good in your own life, or wherever you find yourself, like what can you do, even if you don't think you have a lot to give? Even your time can be sometimes more valuable than you think, right?
We appreciate.
How long did you ring the bell the other day?
1 hour.
Yeah.
That's about the limit for my back.
But
it was fun. I got to
fun.
Greet everyone that came in the door with good morning, and as they left, I said Merry Christmas. And sometimes people kind of look the other way, and they had to turn around and say Merry Christmas back to me. So it was great. And
I did notice you doing that, Shirley, and I like that. You can work at Hy-Vee in a second. You're saying hi to everybody. It's part of the thing.
Well, it's fun. I like the people.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time. I think this is just great to been able to talk about this in Spotlight and recognize the efforts of everybody connected to First Presbyterian, but even more so than that, the different churches and organizations and individuals that have given towards Emmaus Cafe, feeding people each and every Sunday at noon.
That's
at
right.
First Presbyterian Church. Come as you are, whether you're just looking for that social engagement, or if you know somebody that is in need, please point them in the direction, because that's what it's there for.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
That's why it continues to.
If we happen to
thing.
run out of what we fixed for the meal that day, we have backup food that we can fix real quick, and no one goes away hungry.
That's just great. I'm so happy that you were here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
I appreciate
having
it,
me.
Shirley Dillon.
Appreciate it.
This is awesome. Please get connected if you want to help out. 20 years of Emmaus Cafe, First Presbyterian Church here in Muscatine. All right, Chad, where are we going? Aisle Cam. All right, we're going to go to the CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam, and from one good cause to another, there's the Salvation Army Angel Tree. So that's just great. Like, the Angel Tree still got some tags on it. So at this point, I would say, You could come in, you could grab a name off the angel tree, do a little shopping really quick, and then get it to the Salvation Army. But today's kind of the day, right? Like they are across the street right now doing their, thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it, doing their distribution. And it's going to be a very busy day for the Salvation Army. So, but what other ways can you give and lift up? What does Lieutenant Bach say? It's not a handout, it's a hand up. I like that. That's very true. What are we doing? And again, my hope is always to encourage good things to happen outside of the holiday season, right? Because the need is there. We certainly spotlight it during this time of year, but absolutely the other 11 months out of the year, if you can get involved and give, I encourage you to do so. All right, so do we have our main man, Steve, with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam? And we're going to see, oh, good, he's found Elfie. Elfie was hanging out at the gas station for a couple of days. I'm not going to lie to you, all right? Last week was busy. Last week was a little stressful. And Elfie hung out at the gas station. I feel like I don't have to say anything else. There he is in the cart, though. He's in the Toyota Muscatine cart cam, and Elfie is going on the move. Now, Steve, I have a thought. I wonder if we put Elfie on that Santa display of Pepsi. Maybe that's not a bad idea. I don't know. It's a cool display. Elfie, of course, an official elf on the shelf, works for Santa. I'm still glad we've got the My Pillow display, by the way. I make a lot of awkward eye contact with Mike Lindell with My Pillow when I walk down the stairs. You just can't miss him. He's boom right there. Hi, I'm Mike Lindell with My Pillow. All right, so what if we put Elfie, because there's ugly sweaters right there. There's like hats. There's poinsettias. Very festive part of the store. I'm thinking, Steve, we go right on that Pepsi display with Santa. That seems to make the most sense for me. So there's some of those sweaters, and you take a selfie with Elfie, post it on social media, and all of a sudden you have a chance to win a Hy-Vee gift card. And toys! Yes, of course. But of course, Steve, we've got the toys, everybody, for boys and girls. Yes. Barbie Jeep? Oh, my. Boy, all of that stuff is just in my future. Yeah, I was thinking about this today. Getting my daughter ready to get out the door. I was thinking, like, how many years have I been, like, changing diapers? You ever think about that? Like, I've got an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old. Both were potty trained, before they were, like, 2 or whatever. I don't really remember. How many years of my life will I have spent changing diapers? Too many. So I'm excited for my daughter to get potty trained eventually, and then to not have to change the diaper until I'm Grandpa Tony. The coolest grandpa ever. So, all right, we'll check back in just a moment. We'll get Elfie into position. Good-looking display of toys. Good-looking display of Santa from Pepsi. And that is that's right across from CBI, oddly enough. So that makes total sense. All right, so thank you, Steve. We'll check back in just a second and see how that is progressing. Chad, if we go to the store Facebook page, we've got a picture of Elsa and Anna from Frozen, and we're really excited to have them in the store this Saturday. That could be why the phone was ringing off the hook all morning. People are trying to get information about what's going on with Elsa and Anna from Frozen. They're going to be here this Saturday. So there they are, right there in that picture. So I posted this, and a little vague tease, right, on when did I post that? Saturday. Something really frozen is coming to the Muscatine Hy-Vee. Ooh. So we're going to have Elsa and Anna here in the Market Grill Express. Little princess breakfast, if you'll have it. I don't know what I can call it without getting sued, although I feel like we're selling Frozen toys. Can I not call it a Frozen breakfast, Disney? Can I call it that, and would you be okay with it, Walt Disney Company? I know times are tough. You're only making billions of dollars. But Elsa and Anna will be here. Also in the house this Saturday, Wes the Balloon Guy. And Chad, I got to airdrop you this picture because Wes the Balloon Guy sent this to me, and he's like, hey, I can make some pretty cool, like, character balloons. And I was like, oh, word? Because you know who loves people that can make, like, balloon hats and animals? Me. I love it. I can't, so I think it's awesome. Like, when Wes the Balloon Guy was at all the Almost Friday Fest, the dude was getting after it. So how about the Batman one? Can I just get the Batman balloon? I know it's not Elsa or Anna, but, like, can I just get a Batman balloon? Hey, Wes, it's me, Tony. I'm 36, but Batman balloon's for my kid. It's for me. So that's going to be, and there's the Elsa, right? Yeah, that's Elsa. Yeah, so that'll be this Saturday, 9 till 11, Princess Breakfast here in the Market Grill Express. And again, that could have been phone ringing off the hook in here. People wanting more information. I haven't put it out there until right now. So this Saturday, 9 till 11 a.m., I would tell you to make an RSVP probably. I expect it to be very busy in here. And then this coming Sunday, December 22nd, we'll have another visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus, and I'll probably just airdrop one more quick pic to you, Chad. So Santa and Mrs. Claus were here this past Saturday, and then they're going to be back this Sunday. They won't be in the Market Grill. They'll be in the front of aisle 11. This is a picture from when they were inside the Market Grill Express, where we're doing this show this past Saturday. Santa and Mrs. Claus back in action. Something else that you may have noticed if you've been in the store at all over the last couple of days, and I'm airdropping you a little video. We've had some carolers. We've had mighty musky saxophonists in the store playing some Christmas tunes, and we're going to have some more caroling tomorrow. Again, this is from this past Saturday, saxophone players with Muscatine High School. Do you have audio on that? I can stop yapping if I need to. They're playing in the produce department, rocking the saxophones. Look at that. So this is not a new concept by any means, but the person that is your boss asks you to bring some entertainment into the store, you do it. That's my experience, at least. So Matt Schweitzer wants carolers, and he wants some live music. Done. So thank you to Mr. Hyde at Muscatine High School. There's Mrs. Claus. We're walking in the background there, and to those Muscatine High School students for helping out. Now, here's the thing, and this isn't, I'm not like patting Hy-Vee on the back, but for the time, we donated some cash money to the marching band. So it's not like we're asking people to do this stuff for free. And we have L&M in the house tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, 10 a.m., Louisa Muscatine. I can't remember if it's the choir. I'm looking in my notes really quick here. Let's see. It was Lee Wolf. Yeah, choir director, L&M. L&M Choir, Louisa Muscatine Choir in the house this Tuesday, tomorrow, 10 a.m. So we'll have the show tomorrow. I think Michelle Burns is going to be here, our friend, and and we'll have the L&M Choir. I'm laughing because Steve sent me, I'm airdropping it, the picture of Alfie hanging out on the display. This looks good. So check this out. Our main man, Alfie, is just always on the go. This guy, I'm telling you, this little rascal, he is everywhere, isn't he? I mean, I can't get enough of this little elf on the shelf guy. Oh, my gosh. Let me see if I need to save the... There he is. Look at he's right there. Right on Santa's face, if you'll have it. Hiding in the beard. Yes. Santa, you've got something in your beard. Oh, it's an elf. Diet Pepsi caffeine free. That's what Santa's beard is made out of. Who knew? Santa's mouth is Pepsi Max. Isn't that funny how they make that, right? I like a good display like that. I almost bumped into it a couple times last week, if I'm not lying. Oh, I'm not saying that. Santa looked down and said, "Oh, you slay me," says Steve. This guy. You should just be like a joke writer on The Tonight Show or something. And so you're not a joke. I asked on Facebook, the show streams on Facebook, if anybody else... I shoveled this morning, not because I wanted to, but because, again, I felt like I had to. And our friend Adam said that his mom shoveled because he was sleeping. Adam, you got to wake up, man. I would have totally came and tapped you on the shoulder. I can't wait till my kids are old enough to be like, get out there. You know where my kids are going today? They're going to the Polar Express. They're not even in school. They're playing hooky. They're going to the Polar Express in Chicago today. And here I am. How did I get hosed on that deal? What am I doing here? Listen, driving to Chicago for 3.5 hours with 2 kids in a car, I know it sounds fun, but I think I'll just sit here and sip my Starbucks. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to see the Polar Express. They're really excited about it. Today, I got to tell you, December 16th, are you ready? I think it's National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. Can you believe that? Yeah. National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. So you think about what are some of your favorite things that you can cover in chocolate. I'm automatically going chocolate covered peanuts. I don't know if there's anything better. Is there anything better than a chocolate covered peanut? I don't have a particular brand. Certainly like a peanut M&Ms, those are fine. But just chocolate covered jalapeno, what? Was that your thing? Is that Steve's thing? Chocolate covered jalapeno, if you'll allow it? My goodness, I don't know about that. You ever had chocolate covered bugs? I've had those before. Chocolate covered grasshopper, chocolate covered ants. They are hard to catch. Usually the ones I've had have deceased already. You see, I'm not just trying to catch grasshoppers and pour chocolate on them as they're alive. All right, I've got it. Now let me get to the chocolate fondue fountain in my house and dip it. Yeah. I'll tell you what, a lot of little footprints in the driveway this morning. So either it's Buddy, the elf on the shelf at my house, or we've got some type of wild animals in the neighborhood. I was trying to deduce, and we've got the little motion camera thing, and it didn't pick anything up. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a UFO. By the way, I thought I was losing my mind. All right, I think that a lot. Saturday night, I'm driving back from Ottumwa, a place that I've never been, by the way. Shout out to everybody in Ottumwa. Two comments about that trip. There is a house along the highway. I don't know what highway it is. It's one of the highways. You're driving back, and you drive past Batavia, Iowa. Anybody? Batavia, Iowa. There is this house that has, I'm thinking, 100 inflatables. It looks like Clark Griswold on steroids. You could not miss this thing. Looked awesome. And of course, I wanted to take a picture, but did I mention I was driving on a 2-lane highway, so I didn't. But I get back into town, and I'm coming up on the Armory in the airport, and there was a falling star. Did anybody else see this? I know that somebody else saw it. It was Kathy Ribnick, if I'm not mistaken. I may have pronounced her name wrong. She sells houses with, who does she sell houses with? Exit Realty. She posted on Facebook. I said, I saw the same thing. I was talking to my mom, and there's a falling star. I saw a falling star. Steve, are you texting me a picture of a falling star? Okay. What are you sending me? I got nothing. Similar house? I got nothing yet. You might want to resend it. I got nothing yet. Oh, there it is. Look at that house. Is this in Muscatine? Holy smokes. That's a lot. So anyways, if you find yourself going to Ottumwa and you went the way that I went, and I'm not even sure which way that is, there is this house in Batavia, Iowa that's super decorated. And then if anybody out there saw the falling star, I mean, I was talking to my mom on the phone, and it just looked, I didn't know what it was. I thought I was near the airport. I thought the worst case, I'm like, did a plane just fall out of the sky? It was terrifying. But no, it was a falling star. So I'm not alone. We're not alone out there. Somebody else saw the falling star as well. So hopefully you can back me up on this. Steve, you weren't out stargazing Saturday around 10 p.m. You didn't see this falling star? Stargazing with a bottle of wine. Hey, babe, I think I saw a falling star. I threw a bottle of Arden Creek up in the air and shot it. Pull. Boom. Chad, did that picture pop up with the super decorated house? So it looked like that times 100. I'm not kidding you. This house in Batavia, Iowa was crazy. I mean, it looked fantastic. That's a lot of inflatables. Somebody calling the Market Grill Express phone again. Who is it? There are a couple that were flat in that picture. That's fantastic. So I hope if you ever listen, I never thought I'd go to Ottumwa, but I did. And yeah, that house in Batavia, Iowa. My gosh, kudos to them. It just looked fantastic. So listen, we're 9 days out from Christmas. Paul McCartney playing above us in the background. Christmas music. Christmas sweaters, 'tis the season. I'm the fool because starting today through Christmas Eve, I could be wearing a Christmas sweater or shirt every day. It's allowed. What am I doing in a button down? I'm so sweaty. Remember the time I mentioned the 440 cartons of eggs? Remember that? What am I doing? I need to get some big and tall sweaters. I said this last year. I was going to do it. Remember? I was going to make it a whole thing. I'm like, I'm not going to do this again. And here I sit. Just need to find the time to get some sweaters together So that's my New Year's resolution for 2020. So a year from now, should be just in a nice sweater, so I don't have to be in the button down. All right, what else can I tell you? If I mention, if anything to you, the holiday hours here at the store. So I've probably got a countdown to Christmas. And again, I usually email all this stuff, but running a little behind with getting the Salvation Army everything that they need. So let me pull this up here. Day 9. Perfect. So Chad, I'm going to airdrop you one more thing here. We've got these countdown to Christmas graphics. So 9 days out from Christmas, of course, Christmas coming up on the 25th. Hy-Vee open Christmas Eve until 4. So that's a little bit different. Last year we were open till 5, open till 4 this year on Christmas Eve. So that's December 24th. So if you need anything on December 24th, you've got until 4 p.m. to do so. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Here's the official little countdown. 9 days till Christmas, closing at 4 on Christmas Eve, close on Christmas Day, opening at 6 a.m. on December 26th. Thank you. That took a lot of time to get there, but I appreciate that. I know. It's tough when I like to, I like to be more prepared, but sometimes flying on the seat of your pants, by the seat of your pants is okay. So 9 days out from Christmas, again, closing at 4 p.m. Christmas Eve, closed Christmas Day, the only day out of the whole year that this store is closed. So if you show up on Christmas and you're like, nobody's going to be here. So just keep that in mind, whether it's that last-minute gift or gift card. While Steve was making his way with Elfie, we saw that giant display of gift cards. Those are awesome, right? Booze always makes a good gift if you'll allow it, right? The gift of booze. Well, I'm serious. I don't know what to get my dad. He's, what is my dad, 63? I asked my dad, well, I shouldn't say this, but whatever. I asked my dad, what do you want for Christmas? And he said, world peace. And he didn't mean it, though. He didn't mean it. He meant that my sister is a pain in the butt, and I want your sister to listen. And I'm like, okay, Dad. Here's the thing, dads, as a father now. Why can't we? Like, let me, Steve, what do you want for Christmas? Do you have an answer? Nope. Chad, what do you want for Christmas? Do you have an answer? What is our deal? We have nothing. No, I don't have everything, Steve. I'd love to never work again. I don't have lottery numbers. You have lottery numbers? But I'm saying I got asked. I don't know. Here's another true story. My mom, yes, that's fine. Steve, get more materialistic. What do you want? Wireless earbuds. That's my answer. You know what I really want? I want an iPad Pro. Do I need it? No. Would I like it? Sure. Wireless earbuds, though. I love listening to podcasts. Take the kids to the Y. Little wireless earbuds. They got huge ears. Look at the size of these ears. Did they make big and tall earbuds? I don't know. Thank you, Steve, giving me an iPad holder. All I need is the $700 iPad now. But I just feel like as we get older, it's a question that we're never prepared to answer. My mom asked me the same thing as I'm watching The Falling Star. She's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, money. Because I don't have anything in mind. Then yesterday, my wife says, what's your mom going to get you for Christmas? And I said, I just told her money. This is what my wife said. You should have told her to get us bath rugs. And I'm like, rugs for the bathroom for Christmas? No, go buy them. We're redoing a bathroom soon. I'm like, you know what I don't want? Nothing against asking for a bath rug for Christmas. But if I ever ask for a bath rug for Christmas, slap me. I could literally think, you know what I'd rather ask? Starbucks, okay? And again, we can afford to go buy a bath rug, right? Like, oh, what'd you get me, Mom? Let's see. I'm so excited. Oh, it's a bath rug. Look at this. Really ties the room together. No, give me that paper. First of all, my mom doesn't have to give me anything. She helps us out a ton. I should say nothing. But my mom is stubborn, and she will get me something. So it doesn't matter if I tell my mom. That's the other thing. We don't know what we want, and we get more stubborn as we age. It's the fact of life. So if somebody asks you, what do you want for Christmas, just have something ready, as I'm trying to do that myself. By the way, I'm trying, okay? Chocolate-covered honey barbecue Cheeto Puffs are not something that I want for Christmas, but today is National Chocolate-Covered Anything Day. And this is a free country, and I would never begrudge you to put chocolate on whatever you fancy. It's fine. It's totally fine with me. Do what you want to do. Casey O'Kelly watching on Facebook. Hello, Casey O'Kelly. All right. I think I've said enough for today, right? What do you think? It was one of those weekends, I felt like went by in the blink of an eye, and here comes another one. So it's going to be a fast week here at the show. I don't know if Michelle Burns is going to bring any animals tomorrow, any critters. I don't know. I didn't really ask her to. I'm okay if I don't have to hold anything that makes me uncomfortable. Reptiles or tadpoles falling off a table. Dave Bach. Was Dave here or Michelle here when that happened? I can't remember. I think Dave might have been here. So Michelle Burns is a naturalist, Muscatine County Conservation. She'll be here tomorrow morning on the show. And of course, Shirley Dillon that was with us today. What a great story that is. The First Presbyterian Church in Muscatine and the Emmaus Cafe, feeding people on Sundays for 20 years. So if you're out there and you know somebody that is struggling, and that's such a great thing that they identified. So 20 years ago, First Presbyterian Church said, hey, people are going hungry and there's no place to go on Sunday. So they started their little Emmaus Cafe. 20 years later, still going strong. Please consider volunteering, donating food, or supporting their efforts. It's just great. Lieutenant Greg Bach watching on Facebook and says, my dad asked my wife and I what we wanted. She said luggage. He would have got us all iPads had she asked, but no, she asked for luggage. So that's the lieutenant with the Salvation Army who's got a full day on his plate across the street at Calvary Church getting ready for distribution. And they got luggage. Oh, Lieutenant Bach, you're marvelous. And listen, that's not... if my dad's watching, by the way, just get me an iPad Pro, Papa. Papa, can you hear me? iPad Pro. Well, again, I don't need it per se. I could use it for work and other stuff. I could write my novel on it, or the memoirs of the late Pickles the hamster in this week's Discover Muscatine. Look for that. But that's great. So that's what I'm saying. Have an answer. And I know that Christmas is not about material things. I was kidding. Steve's answer is the best. What do you want for Christmas? Family. That's all you want, Steve, right? Family, health, happiness, and a duffel bag full of cash would be fine. Also, not in that order. Family, health, happiness, bag of money, brings a tear to your eye, not having to work anymore, and then world peace, of course, like my dad asked for. So I thought about when my dad said he wants world peace, I told my wife, I'm like, just get him a globe. Here you go, Dad. You don't have an answer. I told you that growing up, I was super excited. I was in high school. They had just put the Godfather series on DVD. It was like $90. I bought it for my dad for Christmas one year, and he never opened it. Like, he opened it, but it was still in like the saran wrap or whatever, the cellophane. So a year later, I took it from him, and he still doesn't know that I did that. So I took it back because I'm like, you never watched The Godfather? I'm like, come on, Dad. So I took it back. All right, we're going to get out of here. Come and see us here at the store. Countdown to Christmas, 9 days and ready to go. Again, from all those last-minute items to, listen, I never thought I'd have to know where, like, the fillings are. If you're making a fruit cake, I know where that is. We could find everything you need in this store. We'll get you taken care of between now and 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve, and then that's it. Doors closing at that point. More details to come this week on the Princess Breakfast. I kind of gave you the gist of it this Saturday. Elsa and Anna in the house, 9 a.m. Then this Sunday, Santa and Mrs. Claus are back one more time. L&M Choir tomorrow, 10 a.m., doing some singing. By the way, I'll say this, if you're connected to a choir or a group that wants to come and do some caroling, get you a little donation for your time, reach out to me. We could still use some folks this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And again, I thank Mr. Hyde for his support. The cast of MCC's production of Legally Blonde was here on Friday. I don't know if, Chad, you want to pull that up on Facebook, that live video? I think it would have been this past Friday on the page, Legally Blonde, the musical. They'll come on the show to talk about that, by the way. But they reached out, and they came in, and they were like, can we bring a keyboard? And I said, yes, you can. And they did some caroling right near Starbucks. So, hey, if you're out there, Steve, I don't know if Steve's going to do any a cappella caroling? Was that your intent this week? Yeah. Did you say tap dancing? Okay. Do you tap? I don't put anything past you. Nothing would surprise me if you do tap. So we'll leave you with a little bit of this performance. Should have some audio, and then I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and team staffing, and of course thanks to our guest Shirley Dillon. Take care, everybody. We leave you with some performance from this past Friday in Hy-Vee.
Watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.